Good morning, everyone. I'm Angelica Siemson, and I'm going to discuss about role play and simulation under the lesson 16. But before we start, I prepare a motivation or energizer to get ourselves ready. The game called Guess the Jumbled Letter or Word Game. I'll give you 3 seconds to guess the word. So let's start. 1, 2, 3. Correct. Instructional strategies. Next. 1, 2, 3. Correct. Role playing. Then the last one. 1, 2, 3. You've got it all right. Let's move on to our topic. Lesson 16, Role Play and Simulation. The objectives of this topic is to discuss role play and simulation as instructional strategies, explain how role play and simulation are used in elementary social studies instruction, then develop a lesson plan that uses role play or simulation in elementary social studies. A-play is a powerful learning approach, increasingly so in higher education, experiential learning strategies. Tulad ng role-play and simulation, it allows students to take a different personas and to interact within a diverse learning settings. A role-playing is unrehearsed dramatic presentation that enables participants to explore alternative solutions to a given problem, where a students assume different characters and act out scenarios typically without any script. Scenarios can be situated in real life or in story. This is strategy. Some students are tasked to enact their solution to an open-ended situation while the rest of the class observe. On the other hand, simulation is a strategy that provides representation of some phenomenon, event, or issue that exists or existed in the real world, usually in the form of a game. It may come in two forms, computerized and non-computerized. Here, the objective may be to solve a problem, to arrive at a decision, to experience the situation or feel the consequences. Or in other words, a simulation's scenario are much more complex and more situated in real life. Also, students may assume other characters or play themselves. Role play and simulation are founded on the experiential learning theory of Dewey and Kolb, which believe that students learn best when they are presented with concrete experience they can reflect on, analyze, and test in new situations. Because in the process of learning through experience and more defined as learning through reflection on doing, students develop deeper understandings and reflection on knowledge through experience. How does it work? Roleplay and simulation can be both implemented through these 5 steps. First, initiation and directions. This involves setting the stage for a roleplay or simulation by identifying and discussing the problem to be resolved or situation to be experienced by the students. Second is describing the scenario. The teacher presents the situation through explicit instructions or media presentations. Example is showing a picture, watching a video, and reading a story, and much more. Third one is assigning roles. The teacher selects members of the class and assigns them characters. The actors and actresses and audience are then briefed about their roles. In role play, a short rehearsal may take place before proceeding to the next part. Fourth is a enactment. In this, students present their scenarios or engage in the simulation. The last one is briefing. This is considered as the most integral part because reflection, generalization, and conclusion take place here. The character and audience process their actions and feelings and pose questions. In roleplay, switching or roles may be done to offer alternative solutions. Roleplay and simulations present many advantages. The reason why it is a popular strategy among social studies teachers. First, they make abstract concepts and ideas more concrete by letting the students experience them in a safe and non-threatening way aside from promoting critical thinking and decision-making skills. They are also useful in helping students develop a sense of empathy and social awareness. Students do not only offer solutions to real-world problems and come up with sound decisions, but they have to think of others, how others might feel, and what consequence they might face. Role-playing and simulations teaches many lessons. Some of the most important lessons it teaches are lessons that are needed in society: competitions, cooperation, and empathy. Role-play and simulation allows for the interactions between classmates and peers. It develops sensitivity towards others' feelings, develops communication skills, and building a confidence. Here are some of the tips if you want to implement a role-play and simulation. First, know your students. Choosing students who are timid to perform may affect the conduct of the activities, especially if they are given crucial roles. But it is important also to give everyone a chance to act, not just those who are always volunteer. Then, constantly remind students that the roles represents the character and not their classmate to avoid typecasting or did same kind of role. Then assign tasks to the audience. While watching, they can write their observations or note questions that will be entertained in the briefing part of role playing. For computerized simulations, always preview the content. Some themes, scenes, and language may not be suitable for elementary students. Last one is be aware of your own role as a teacher. The teacher may act as a coach, clarifier, or observer, depending on the readiness and ability of the students. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from me.